Okay, so we read yesterday the halacha of v'chayav l'chalek la'aniyim b'yom hapurim ein pachos mishnei aniyim nosen l'chol echad matana achas o maos o mini-shiur o mini-ochlim. Okay, so let's look at let's do the Makbili. There's not a ton of Makbili here, so we might get past. I see you saying that. He got in my head. Do you remember when we used to call? We didn't know his name. We used to call him the side guy. Who? Makbili. In the and for the whole first year, I think. Okay.
Well, I learned a lot, the side guy.
Yeah.
The side guy.
What was that? Or the note guy, maybe we call him that. I can't remember anymore. Yeah. V'chayav l'chalek la'aniyim b'yom hapurim. So in Megillah it says Tanu Rav Yosef u'matanos la'avyonim shtei matanos l'shnei bnei adam. So that's a straight drasha. Reila el halacha yud daled. Oh, halacha yud daled, not parak yud daled. Dibur maskal bnei kfarim shemitzvah davka b'purim. Right. So we did read that. I think that you are yotze. Let's see. Mitzvahs yom Oh yeah. If you did distribute the maos, he's talking about his own thing. But just while we're up here, if you distributed the money on a day that is the day of your kriya, you're yotze. But really, the chadchila you should do it on the 14th. Okay. O maos mine tavshil o mine ochlin Megillah Zayin Aleph. Another gear. So Rabbi Chananel, Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya. Okay, with this we read before. Okay, I thought we said that was sarcastic, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess because he's saying that you see that you can be yotze in matanos levionim through food, right? Which you might think, I guess, that is davka, yeah. Did we talk about the thing with the other Mishlei Manos? Did I tell you about this? I feel like we went over this. The Mishlei Manos of Rosh Hashanah.
Oh, you mentioned that.
Okay, I mentioned that to you though. Yeah. Okay, so this is a fun thing. Okay, so this is in נחמיה. Then when they have like the whole revival, and Ezra reads from the Torah, and they what was it?
I know.
They find out that it is Rosh Hashanah on that day. Okay. And they're all sad because they were so removed from Torah that they didn't realize it was Rosh Hashanah. So he says, so then Ezra gives him a pep talk. So v'yomer נחmia hu hatir shasa Ezra Kohen hasofer v'halavim hamavim es am the whole am. So here's what they say: Hayom kadosh hu l'Hashem Elokeichem. Today is holy to Hashem your God. Al tis abalud, don't mourn. Al tivkon, don't cry. Ki bochin kol ha'am kishamam es divrei haTorah, because all the people were crying when they heard the Torah. V'yomer lahem, and he says, L'chu, go, ichlu mashmanim, eat delectable foods, I'm talking, drink sweet drinks, v'shilchu manos la'ein nachon lo, and send portions to the one who doesn't have, ki kadosh hayom la'adonenu, because today is holy to our God, our Lord, val te'atzvu, and don't be sad, ki chedvas Hashem hi ma'uzchem, because the joy of God should be your strength. I don't know what that means, but I this is the first year I noticed that this answers a question that people ask on the Megillah, because when they're setting up the holiday, then it says, the first time around, it says, Al kain haYehudim haprazim hayoshim b'arei haprazos osim es yom 14 l'chodesh adar simcha u'mishtev yom tov u'mishloach manos ish l'reyehu. Right? Sorry, I'm mixing up. Oh yeah. Wait, okay, hold on just a second. I'm mixing it up. So it doesn't mention matanos levionim here. It mentions Simcha, Mishteh, Yom Tov, and Mishloach Manos. But then the next time it mentions it, a couple of psukim later, when it's talking about what they do for the Dori Doros, it says, Lasos osam yimei Mishteh v'simcha u'mishloach manos ish l're'ehu u'matanos la'avyonim. So I saw someone, I think I saw in the Rav, he answers this, but maybe also the Torah Tamima, that because on Yom Tov, you have part of your chiv of Simcha is to provide for the poor. And the first time in Megillah, when it says that they were going to make it into Yom Tov, they want to actually make it into a full-fledged Yom Tov. It doesn't need to mention giving portions to the poor. But then once they nixed the Yom Tov aspect, then they needed to establish separate matanos la'avyonim.
So that's what that is, the Doridoros?
That's this last one's the one that we actually hold by. Yeah.
I just wondering, I'm not sure if it was yet also to do business per se, but it could have been a thing which he didn't like anyway.
On Yom Tov, you mean?
Yeah, so like I'm not sure whether it was quite get usher to handle money, but even if it was, it might have been a thing they didn't like, so therefore they would have wanted to declare that if they were trying to do a Yom Tov.
What does that have to do with?
As of the concept of Yom, they might have also been something they wouldn't want to have done on Yom.
Oh, you're saying that's a business?
He's saying because if the ikr of the Tosa Yom is getting money.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I also don't know when that was instituted. Yeah.
Like, of course, it's also not even sure if it was even us or yet to give money.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a good question. But yeah, the reason why I was bringing in the נחמיה thing specifically though is because it is interesting that the lashon. I mean, here it's clearly referring that's clearly to the poor, but the lashon is mishloach manos. So it is interesting that in the way that we have it, our mishloach manos is not the tzedakah one. It's it's a separate one, but it I don't know. It's just weird. To my knowledge, this is the only phrase of mishloach manos here and in Esther. So I wonder if there's some relationship that we don't know. Yeah.
It's just in order of Tanakh.
Yeah.
Which one happened first?
Very unclear to me because נחמיה takes place over a long Ezra and נחמיה, which is one sefer, takes place over long periods of time, and I never get the chronology straight. I have a book at home that says, what was that? There's parts of it that are before and parts that are after. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's all after. Yeah, I don't know the chronology.
I think there's some point during the sefer, so I forget where it's it mentions Achashverosh sends some bad.
But there's also two Achashveroshes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which Achashverosh is the one in.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's so confusing because there's two Achashveroshes, two Daryavishes, and two Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to our regularly. Yeah. Okay, so then we had the next phrase in the halacha, which was about the medaktakin. So that's another thing that I'd like to understand because I'd like to understand in light of what we did this year, because we did talk about checking out the person to see if they're actually poor, and presumably, I don't think the Rambam said this explicitly, but it's we want to prevent him from stealing from Aniyim, right? If he's taking stuff. So here is
and from the giver,
right? True. Right. So what's the source of that? Purim. So that's in a Tosefta. We saw that earlier. That's the source that you eat meat. Yeah.
Actually, part of that form you have to do it that day. So therefore, if you delay to look into
that's interesting.
You won't
There's that's an interesting thing. Okay, I hear that as a pragmatic explanation. Sorry, that was part of the previous deeper Moscow. So you can give money or you can give food. All right. People also ask though, by the way, it's interesting. I've heard people ask can you give clothing? Apparently not, right? I mean, apparently you either give money or you give food. And I guess because those are the only two sources we have, right? Whereas let's say with tzedakah, there's no surah. It's it's based on their needs. Here, there is an actual surah, which is an interesting thing. I don't know why that is. Okay, fine. If imadaktikim b'malos Purim, Yerushalmi Megillah Aleph Aleph, imadaktikim b'mitzvahs Purim, ela kol, I don't know, ela. So he doesn't explain it. Rama's just quoting verbatim Yerushalmi. Yeah, it must be in mitzvahs, right?
Mitzvahs
meaning just the Matanos Levion, right? Because this kol poshet yado doesn't apply to any other mitzvah. Yeah.
It's also the mitzvah is to give the gift source. In other cases, it's to give tzedakah. So here, the important thing is that you gave it, and tzedakah is important thing.
Right. So yeah. So I was thinking similarly that the main, where did I get this from? The main thing. Oh yeah, from the Rambam. Okay. Thank you for weighing in on that weighty question. Yeah, I think we can answer that based on the next Rambam, which we did not read yesterday. But let's get through this first. Imashani Maus Purim L'Tzedakah Cheres. What does that mean? So it's in Bava Metzia. Kuf Beis Am Beis Migbas Purim LePurim VeImadaktikim B'Davar. the collection of Purim is for Purim, and we are not medactic on it. Ve'ein ha'ani rashai likach mehen ritzua l'sandalo el im kein hisna b'ma'amat anshe ha'ir. Divrei Rabbi Yaakov shamar mishum Rabbi Meir mishum Gamliel Mekel. I don't know what that means. An ani can't take a shoelace unless he stipulates on it in front of the council of the city.
I think so.
Yeah.
That was my assumption. Meaning the ani, right. Meaning the ani needs to get checked out by the anshe.
What does that have to do with being Mishanin Maos Purim Litzdak Acheres?
Oh, no, you're right. That sounds like the medactic thing.
Yeah. My understanding was like, I don't know. Right. Yeah. All right. And Yerushalmi, or we read that already. Also, oh no, you didn't. Magvis Purim the Purim Amar Rabbi Elazar Ubivachla Yishanim Mimena Lahani Ritzua Laminalo. Yeah. See, what is this Ritzua business? As long as the ani doesn't exchange his shoelace, I guess it doesn't mean like
weird more about shoelaces, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's. I mean, are you thinking?
I was saying, is there something about like not how to tie your shoes?
The Jewish shoelaces.
Yeah, I think so.
Like the Jews have distinctive shoelaces.
I think so.
And like how you have to give your life.
Yeah, I think
right?
That's more that I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's not about that, right?
I don't think it's talking about that. Yeah.
What is it?
I think it means we don't exchange the Maos of Purim for another tzedakah. I want to find.
Oh, he's saying you can't even take like a shoelace instead of.
That's why I think also that. But so with the stipulation thing, it must mean that you have like if the guy wants a shoelace, maybe you have to like, make sure that the money that he would get. I don't know. I'm gonna actually cheat and check out the footnotes in chabad.org, see if they bring down Achronim. Or Nosei Kelim. I'm cheating because I don't want to look at Nosei Kelim. Let's see. Why is it better? Well, first of all, they do bring down more things. It's all in one place. You don't have to like scroll through all the things. Yeah. But you never know whether you're going to get a Chabad translation that brings down the footnotes or one that doesn't. You would think that for Megillah they would, because it's something that like, nope, they don't.
So you check
yeah, you want to see if they have that? Thanks. I'm gonna look for my let's see, hold on. YBT, not you, YBT. Oh, I hate Bing.
I'm looking for this is not in order.
Let's try this again. Megillah. Where is it? Everything's so slow. I'm just gonna click it open and see what happens. My goodness, it's so slow. This looks like it. All right, let's see if actual Makbili, not my mistaken Makbili, says Ein Mishanin Maos Purim Maos Shenigbu Matanos of Yonim L'Tzacheres Elanosim Osam Beoso Yom L'Sudas Aniyim. What's the translation?
I think you don't take the money that you set aside from the
right, even a shoelace. Yeah, I think so. That's the impression I'm getting also. Yeah, it says money given to be distributed on Purim should not be used for other charitable purposes, right? Meaning the Beis Din can't take it and then say, oh, well, we got so much, we're gonna distribute for Aniyim and then use the rest of it for tzedakah, right? Okay, so what I was thinking, going back to the question of why we're not medactic. So this last halacha, Mutav la'adam laharbos b'matanos evyonim milharbos b'sudasa uv'shiluach l'reav. Better for a person to increase in his matanos levyonim than to increase in his seuda and in sending to friends. Ein sham simcha gedola mufuara ela l'smech lev anim v'yisomim b'almanos v'gerim. There's no greater simcha or more glorious simcha than to bring joy to the hearts of anim and orphans and widows and converts. Sham hasameach lev ha'amelalim ha'elu, people who bring joy to the hearts of these downtrodden people, midame b'shchina, is similar to the Shechina. Shnemar, as it says in Yeshayahu 57:15, lahachos ruach shvalim lahachos lev nidkaim, to give life to the spirit of the low and to enliven the heart of the crushed. Yeah.
Is he bringing out is that like a general yesod?
Yeah, that's generally yesod. Yeah.
Is it like a Purim like so this is like a.
I think this is general. So I think he brings this down also in a different part of the Mishnah Torah, which is in the hold on, lahachos lev ruach shvalim. Let's see where it is. Yeah, it's Chaim. I think so. That maybe that's where he brought it down. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think so. Yeah, that is ringing a bell. Let's see. Rambam. All right, so there's the first one. Yeah, Matanos Aniyim. Asur ligor ba'ani. It's asur to yell at an ani. Olah be a kol. Allah bazakam nishili nishbrav nidke v'harihu omer lev nishbrav nidke elokim losivze v'omer lahachios ruach shvalim lahachios lev nidkaim. Yeah. So it's a universal principle in the Darkei Hashem about how we relate to these people. So what I want to say for the Imadaktikin is so there you're trying to, for tzedakah, you're trying to satisfy the needs of aniyim, and if this money, no, this is not going to work out. I'll try saying it anyway. I'll take one step. Is that the nature of the giving of ma'os here is different than for tzedakah, because tzedakah, it's fulfilling their needs.
Okay.
Here it's bringing simcha to them, right? And it's really enlivening their spirit. So. Still, if there's a fraudster, obviously, then that's not going to fit in. But what I'm wondering is if we can use that to explain like the indiscriminate giving,
If anything, you would think not that. Oh well, actually.
Yeah. That's why
right. Yeah, right. I guess, but I mean, he's not necessarily in this class of people, though, right? It's not the Sameach Lev Roshayim, right?
Right. If we take what we said earlier,
Yeah.
You fulfill Matanos,
Yeah.
It doesn't happen that in everyone.
I missed the step. How? Why? In which case?
In the case of Rebbe and Rabbi Yoshia.
Oh, right. That's true. That is true.
Meaning that makes it sound like it's from the perspective of the giver.
Right.
As long as the giver thinks that he's doing
right. Yeah. And that's the other angle you can take also, is that it's the act of giving is the main thing. Yeah.
I'm also thinking, insofar as like you can't regulate simcha, but like we do. Like we say
yeah, right.
Like that's considered simcha. So like in that sense, like it doesn't really bother me that we're gonna regulate and say this guy thinks he wants to, he says, well, he's gonna get money or whatever it is.
Yeah, right.
Like, as long as you're regulating a halachic structure of simcha, like
right. But what question are you answering though?
If it's going for simcha, then why would it not just be subjective to whatever's gonna make the guy happy?
Oh, I'm not bothered with that question. Yeah, I'm bothered with the question. Why don't we have to investigate and make sure these people are actually downtrodden aniyim? Yeah.
So also, just was the sort of question like, what do you mean by when we're talking like, isn't if you know the guy's a billionaire and he's asking for like, do you give it?
I would think not, right? I think you have to make sure it's an ani.
He follows up with kol poshe yado, right?
No, yeah.
Any that is poshe yado, yeah.
I didn't say that. That's the only thing.
Well, it's Matanos le'evyonim. Right. If I go up to if a robot walks up to me and puts out his hand, well, there's a yard. So I mean, of a monkey. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I definitely hear that. It wouldn't make sense if you knew the guy was a billionaire.
If you knew the guy's a billionaire, yeah.
At the same time, like, well, I guess that's what being adopted though. Right. It doesn't mean that the guy walks up and you know who he is, and you can say, wait a second, I know that you're not. Versus, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if he's a billionaire or not.
Yeah.
Then in that case, it's just like
that makes sense. Yeah, right. Yeah, and also imadatikin in terms of the amount, right? Like in terms of giving, like you're not usually we are medactic, I guess, in terms of we're giving for specific needs.
Aren't we medactic enough though? Like the way at least whether we poskin, like you have to give a certain.
Well, minimal shiur, right? Minimal shiur, because then you're not giving an asina.
What is for the meal?
I think so. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but you're not meant to make sure that you're giving him
day masoro or something.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, Joseph?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what I would like to do also, I think because Ram does, now we see that this is a thing in tzedakah, the lahachos lev nidkaim. Let's look at this in Yeshayahu tomorrow and try to get what the idea is, because then we can actually like fulfill it. Yeah.
What is the other halacha? Have you read over that also? Is that something like that you taught in the thing? I think you taught it in the read them.
Sorry, where?
I think in that, might be the halacha right before that.
In Megillah?
In Matanos.
Matanos Anim.
Another similar halacha that.
Yeah, with the angry face.
No.
You have to leave almana aranin. Yeah, right. Right. The right. Yeah. Yeah, that also has to do with joy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, stop. Okay.
So,